Welcome back to my G1 Retro Reviews. Today, we're taking a look at the Japanese exclusive episode, Scramble City, which acts as a bridge between Season 2 of the original American series and Transformers the movie. In this episode, the Decepticons discover that the Autobots are secretly building the massive robot known as Metroplex. In a secret base, the Autobots are working on Project Scramble City. Here we can spot some new faces, like Ultra Magnus. And, well, that's about it, just Ultra Magnus. Unfortunately, he's the only new movie character to show up in this Scramble City episode. No RC, no Hot Rod, no Cop, no Blur. But we do see some old familiar ones as well, like Spike, Bumblebee, Carly, Chip Chase, and Sparkplug. However, the Decepticons detect the energy coming from their hidden factory, and they send some of the cassettes to investigate. But Blaster reveals that he now has his own little cassette buddies too to combat sound waves. Aww. Also, apparently Steeljaw can fly? Huh. After discovering the Autobots' secret factory, the Decepticons send in reinforcements. But so do the Autobots. After giving the old toys some screen time, we finally get to the main part of this episode, the Combiners. And this is why the specific style of 5-member Combiners are called Scramble City style Combiners. We begin with the Aerialbots assembling into Superion, followed by the Stunticons merging into Menasor. I like how the Combiners use their combining ability to avoid damage and change strategy. It reminds me of how in Robots in Disguise, Ruination had his flight mode configuration and his land mode configuration. We also see them demonstrate the scramble part of Scramble City, as Menasor uses one of his own limbs to Combiner block Superion, effectively immobilizing the Autobot Combiner. But with the help of Optimus Prime, they amputate Wild Rider, and Fireflight is able to rejoin his group. But then the Combaticons show up and combine into Bruticus. And it's kind of cute how he helps Menasor up. Aww, such nice Decepticon gestalt lending one another a hand. Sometimes literally. Finally, the product of the Autobots' secret factory is ready, and Metroplex rolls out to help the others, along with the Protectobots. Once Defensor and the newly constructed Titan arrive, the Decepticons are sent packing. But the Decepticons, quick to steal any idea from the Autobots, have apparently built their own Gigantomax Transformer. That is where this episode ends, with a Pacific Rim-style face-off between the Iron Giant and Mechagodzilla. Some fan dubs you may see online attempt to continue this episode and use recycled footage from other episodes. But officially, this is where this episode ends, on a cliffhanger. A rather continuity-breaking cliffhanger, as in the series proper, Trypticon would not be created until the multi-parter 5 Faces of Darkness. Although, it would be retconned decades later that the Trypticon that we see in that episode is rebuilt from the one that supposedly lost the fight against Metroplex after this one. This episode was originally intended to help bridge the gap between Season 2 of the cartoon and Season 3 for the Japanese audience, seeing as how Japan wouldn't get Transformers the movie until 3 years after English-speaking parts of the world. As for explaining where the Combiners were during the actual events of Transformers the movie, well, it doesn't really do any job of that, as this clearly takes place in the 80s, not in the futuristic year of 2005. But as an episode on its own, it's okay. I would have loved to have seen more original episodes like this that also help bridge that 20-year gap. We do get an origin story for Metroplex, but where did Ultra Magnus come from? It is cool to see Carly and Chip Chase in an episode together, this being the only one where they both appear. It would have been nice to see them and Spike interact together. And where is the rest of the movie cast? Hot Rod, RC, Cup, Blur? Have they not arrived on Earth yet? I would have loved to see what they were up to prior to the film. Well, what about you? What did you think of this Japanese exclusive episode of G1? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and do all that other fun stuff. And I'll see you back here next time for the one that you've been so patiently waiting for, my review of Transformers the movie. So I'll see you back here next time for that.